What's going on, everybody? We got 30 people in the house. Hey, Xana. Yeah, we just thought we'd do a little update. Hey, Donna. Donna, you and your husband should come to the Soulogy Fest. Things are going all right. I know everybody's feeling all this post Lionsgate energy. We've been going through it. Everyone I've come into contact with, whether they're technically awake or not. So we arrived. We got quite a few people coming from Sedona and other places early. Hey, Luke, what's going on? Monique, how's it going? Billy. We came. It's been one night. Yeah, we ended up getting over here today, Saturday. We got here Thursday night, and Friday morning we woke up and drove to the top of the mountain. And when we got out of the car to kind of consummate the deal with the people that own the facility, our radiator busted and the water pump went out. So the van's okay. So we rolled it down the mountain 16 miles, took it to an auto repair place. It's going to be ready like Tuesday. So we're not stuck, but we're in this hotel at the bottom of the mountain in Ozark, Arkansas. And it's run by this really cool dude and his family. And a few people are going to be staying here. If you are going to come to the Soulogy Fest and you're not going to camp out or be at the RV part, there's a few rooms left. I'm going to reserve like 3 more. I want to say like maybe 9 or 10 that are left at the, it's called the Oxford Inn. Do not stay at the Ozark Inn. Do not stay there. Stay at the Oxford Inn. It's a really nice place. You can see it. You really can't see it all from here, but it's very nice. Let me see here. It's only $80 a night, 75 or 80. Let's see, here it is. I got my clothes over there and stuff, but pretty cool place. Very clean, run by really good people. But so last night I went to bed at 10 o'clock and I woke up at 9 a.m. But during those 11 hours, I woke up probably every 45 minutes or an hour in this deep, deep sleep. I think a lot of people could relate to this, and I kept getting information and downloads, and then I'd go back to sleep. So that went on for 11 hours, and then I stayed up for like an hour, and then I went back to sleep for 3 hours. Same thing was happening. I felt like I was totally depleted. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this. But then I took a long shower, took a walk, went and got a Arkansas sushi roll. It was pretty good. But I think there's a lot of assimilation, a lot of integration going on right now. I know a lot of people are going through stuff and having some difficulties in many different ways. I mean, if you look at it from the human perspective, but if I look at my own situation, especially of the last few weeks, I left for Sedona on July 30th, and so it's been 6 weeks, and it's just been a powerful corridor for everybody, and it's not always been comfortable. I don't consider having deep emotional crying sessions as being uncomfortable at this point in the game. I think every shadow is a doorway. Every projection is a doorway. Every bit of self-awareness that is externalizing everything is a doorway. The universe is working with us. It's a very powerful time right now. There's going to be a culmination that's going to happen around the time of as the Soulogy Fest is happening, which is the new moon. And so that's new beginnings. September looks really strong. A lot of people, not a lot, but significant number of people that have some good credibility have said that September is going to be really where the masculine energy on the earth really makes its imprint, the new of old, the divine masculine energy, the true masculine energy. And that's not to be, just specific to men. It's to men and women, and it's creating different types of pressures on both genders in a general sense, but on everybody. I mean, the name of the game is we're here to grow, we're here to love, we're here to live, and it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. And at this point in the game, as we head into the last part of the year, as we get through August and September, I think all things are going to be at least available in terms of the energies, masculine, feminine, and third energy, to be running on the same frequencies and same vibrational pattern. There's a lot of great things happening. I know there's a lot of people that I've kind of like picked up on and talked to, and that are they're going through a lot of deep stuff, and some of it's physical pain, some of it's deep emotional pain. I can promise you one thing: I don't care who you are at this point in the game. Whatever you're not looking at in yourself is coming at you. And we can externalize that all we want, but we've probably should have figured that out by now. After 10 years, since 2012, that it's time to be responsible for ourselves. It's time to stop externalizing things, and it's time to go to work. And that's what I'm doing, because the way I look at it, I am a soul. They can take me out of this game anytime they want to, if that's possible, or I am my higher self, or whoever, or whatever. I'll just move on to the next one. I love this earth. I love Soulogy. I love my life, my loved ones, and my friends. I consider this community to be a very special place where people can come out and be supported and not be embarrassed and bare their souls like I'm trying to do right now. But it's just like, what am I going to do? Whoever doesn't have any sound, you might want to double check it's your device, because we've been on for 8 minutes and the sound seems to be okay. It's like, what do we want to do? Do we want to create? Do we want to worry about the future? Do we want to worry about the past? Do we want to be present and put our best foot forward when we're not flat on our back, laying in bed or on the couch trying to recuperate? Today was a huge day, and the 14 hours that I guess technically slept last night was full of lucid dreams, full of information, full of reassembly, reconstruction, reformation, reclamation. I mean, it's so much of what's happening now is really best discerned or judged from the perspective of the soul. We are souls in the human body, and this is no longer a cliche and no longer some new age fancy adage. This is the fact, and it's a little bit hard to get our arms around it, but there's a magic out there that is based on collaboration and co-creation that has taken hold, and it makes no sense. We've talked about this on this show. I saw this thing that Luke said. Let me get it up here. So he saw the 68 form and solid in the clouds was following my friend's septic tank truck, helping with him in 3434, and it adds to 68. Then he saw license plate with Arkansas license plate 68. Now that's interesting, because about let's see, this would have been like April when Morgan left in 2021 of last year. I get visions and I get feelings and stuff like that. Other people, they get more, I get a lot of lucid dreams. But the interesting thing about his comment is, hey, what's up, Astrid? The interesting thing about his comment about the 68 is that that night before she left, I clearly saw the number 68. And I don't know what that means, but it was very, very clear. It was like literally just appeared, so there might be something to that. I thought about it. I thought, well, maybe I'm going to be 68 when I see her again, but I don't think that's it. I never did. It's something else. So the fact that he saw that makes some sense. I know, and I've talked about it. There's a lot of intel's come in about what's going on at Soulogy Fest on Mulberry Mountain. And I've said it before, this is not about selling tickets. We're good. This is about just sharing the information. Now, many people have gotten this, and it's not something that's just exclusive to Mulberry Mountain. This is a very powerful last weekend of August as we head into September, when this masculine energy has been forecast, and sure feels that way to me, to fully land, like fully anchor, as the feminine energy has, as the golden child or third energy has. And again, this is some things that people have talked about in different ways. So yeah, something big is going on. I think it has a lot to do with the inner earth. I'm not the only one that's gotten this download that's going. We have, I would guess that maybe to my knowledge, about 15 people that have gotten direct intel about what's going to go down at Mulberry Mountain. And, we will have a live stream, so if you can't make it, then, you can participate that way, and we certainly appreciate the support. So, what else we want to talk about? Maybe we'll bring some people on. Let's see if there's anything else we can get into. Let me just get the link, and I'll put it on the Facebook on my page, and I'll put it on the YouTube. Let's see here. Here we go. Let me just turn this guy off, and I'll put it on the YouTube. Okay, so let me put it here. Hey Don, what's up? Holly Watson. All right, let's see. All right, I'm just going to put this here, paste. All right, boom. If you want to come in and you're in the chat room or watching on YouTube, we've got 44 people on there. You're welcome to come into the studio and have a chat. Let me put it up on my Facebook page. I'm going to start setting up SoulSpeak 5D shows in the next day or two, so we can get back on track. I like to do like 2 a day. All right, boom. There's the, let's see. Boom. All right. Okay. Yeah, so if you guys have any comments or any questions, this is not like a Yogi Guru thing. I'm not going to answer them. Like, I have all the answers, but I'm bringing a huge story, and Mulberry Mountain is in the solar eclipse ley line. All right, I don't know who that is, because you're the only way I can see who is making the comments on Facebook is if they are on my page. But somebody said, I am bringing a huge story, and Mulberry Mountain is in the solar eclipse ley line. Yeah, far out. Yeah. I saw that, and I've seen a couple of articles about that. Hello, Julianne Canvin. Donna Owens going to be watching. All right, appreciate it, Donna. That's Harold. All right, Harold. Okay, Harold's coming. He's the dude, one of the 4 people that won free tickets. Harold and his wife, Laura Cruz, and Shannon McMillan Thompson. So that was cool that we were able to get some people in there for free. It was a nice little contest. It was fun listening to the videos. Anybody wants to come in, I put the links up, or I can sit here and keep talking. I don't know what you want to talk about. Anybody got any subjects? What's up, brother? You want to come on? Anybody want to come on? Doesn't matter. Anybody that's never been on, I would love to have you come on. It's all about stepping up now. Everybody's stepping up. But yeah. So, all right, let's put some music on. Until somebody wants to come in. Starseed Watson, come in. Julianne Canvin, come in. Donna Owens, you're welcome. Mary Lou, Janice Butcher, any of you want to come in, come on. Yeah, today was just like it was like, until I took an hour-long shower, and I was just like letting the water run on me and cleanse me, and finally started getting my energy back. It's been quite a powerful I can't believe it's already the 13th of August. But hello, Maria. But yeah, what else is going on? Let's see. We can let's play around a little bit. Let's go up to. Hang on. Let's see here. Let's go to Facebook newsfeed. How's that? Let's see what we got going on here. Forget that. Let's just do this. Anybody wants to come in, let me know. Or just, hit the link. You're very welcome. John, thank you for thanking me. Really appreciate it. Here we go. We got Robert Evans in the house. Boom. And we can hold up to 4 people, so if anybody wants to come in, just let me know. What's happening?
What's up, Todd?
I'm just, just rolling with it as best I can. I just felt like I needed to get on because, I don't know. It's what I do. How you doing?
I'm doing amazing.
Yeah.
Feeling very giant, hard, expansive energies after a session with crew I'm working with. So.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, creative and collaborative energies coming through. Oh, what's up, Delia?
Well, we got another one now. We got Luke coming in too. So we got 4. There's Luke. All right. Anyone else calls in, if anyone else calls in, hey, Craig Allen, dreams have been heavy. Heavy as in, yeah. I mean, let's see. Hang on a second. Right on. Okay. Yeah, what's up, everybody? What's going on? Who wants to start? Robert, you go ahead and continue.
Yeah, I guess, really just incredibly expansive collaborative energies, right? Like lots of intention starting to blossom, but in very unexpected ways.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, things that I feel like I've seeded over the last few years, the last few months, done in the, energetic field and, really just been listening to like, how does this stuff unfold? Now that magic is really starting to, it's gradually presenting itself, right? I mean, we're very much at the beginning of this. I feel like this wave is going to take off, more and more and more, but just some incredible surprises coming through today. Yeah, a possible collaboration, so
really
very excited.
Oh, yeah? Well, you can't talk about it, huh?
Well, just, some beloved soul sisters who do quite a bit of coding, potentially being able to live code over poetry,
wow.
over freestyle rap, and
man, this is what it's all about. All these new collaborations and even new things that. Somebody left us. But yeah, that's really cool to be mixing stuff like that. Non-traditionally. That's very cool. What's up, Luke?
Oh, not much, Todd. How you been, brother?
Just working it hard, working my ass off.
Yeah, I seen that. I was glad to see that it was just the water pump. I was glad to see it wasn't the head gasket that went too.
It got close. Yeah. Well, the crazy thing is that and Amethyst is a mechanic, all right, like full blown, and he had already been working on the damn RV for 5 days, but anyway, that didn't work out. So Tim Smith, he gifted us the Scooby-Doo van, but the interesting thing was when I wasn't, when Amethyst was like topping out the fluids and checking stuff, he noticed that there was a belt that seemed to be missing, but he thought it was the air conditioner because the air conditioner didn't really work. And so it turns out that we drove all the way from Arizona to Arkansas with no water pump.
Shoot.
Well, and the crazy thing was when we came out of because the other times we tried to leave, it was real dark and ominous. And this time when we left, it was dark and but it was dark and ominous, but it wasn't like it was before. It was like 7 monsoons, and we drove north, and then we took the highway, and it started to head east, and it was crazy. It was like, and we got downloaded for like 2 straight hours, the first 2 hours, and it was like, what is it, Moses parting the Red Sea, man. It was crazy. There was this light, a little bit of sunlight in the clouds in front of us, and it just kept getting bigger and bigger, and all this rain, all this wild rain too, and we missed it all. But it was nice and cool. It was actually cold, cold enough we could have put the heater on. And but then the next morning we drove from Albuquerque all the way into Arkansas, so that was about 10, 11 hours, and I guess just running it on the highway kept it. And so what happened, the next day we drove up to the mountain 16 miles, and that's when it burst. But yeah, I drove it to the bottom, and then we waited an hour, put some fluid in it, and then took it to the place. But yeah, it was close. We could have cracked the block.
Oh yeah. Y'all would have been going nowhere at that point,
Yeah, and I would have felt bad because my friends, loaned us the van. What's up, Delia?
What?
Are you?
Hello.
It's good to see you.
Wow, these energies. It's nice to see you guys. It's interesting. I just suddenly got that oh, there's energy coming in, and I pop in and I see the three of you, and I've been seeing a lot of the frequency that you all three have been posting out there in the frequency, and I've been kind of staying silent.
Yeah.
It's a lot of integration, period.
Oh yeah.
Definitely a lot of integration. As everybody's moving through whatever facets that we're being asked to move through. So that's pretty much how it's been flowing. But I feel totally what you were saying, Todd. Since the beginning, that when you first left your home, I think that's when suddenly things just started flowing, and I can really see the energy, and been riding that frequency as well, the ups and the downs in the frequency, whatever that's been coming up for me as well. It's not easy, being there and being like, hey, I need assistance for this. And everything that came up to make that decision that I was going to head over to Arkansas, it's just been things coming up and clearing, and at the same time it's also been aligning in the frequency. But with true faith overall, it's just I full trust. I know that it's going to happen, and it's just going to land in.
So are you still looking for a ride? Are you still looking for a pump?
I connected to the as far as I know, because I think you were connecting with the one girl.
Yeah.
I think we've only messaged a couple times, but I know the energies have been very strong for most people to have patience. So
no doubt.
I know I'm not worried. It's just going to settle. I have full trust of that.
Well, you might have to get on the bus, and we'll give you a ride back.
Well, I'm not worried.
Or you could get take a bus to Sedona and get a ride from the people with Sedona, or from Sedona. There's 1, 2.
I contemplated that too, but I'm not.
Oh,
worried.
wait a minute! Hold on a second. Hold on. I think Ashley Lee is driving from San Diego. I think she's driving to San Diego to Sedona, and then jumping in cars with other people. There's a few of them. We'll figure it out.
That's no problem.
There's Bronte Sims. Yeah, she's the one, right? She's the one you were talking to. There she is.
Yeah, that's what I've been connecting to, because I know the energies have been strong for a lot of us, and including me. She's been anchoring in a lot of codes. I've been coming in, and it's just been a nonstop. So I'm sure that everybody's getting downloads up the wazoo.
Yeah, up the wazoo.
But yes, it's definitely something that is cracking everybody open in open-heartedness and seeing ourselves. But the beautiful thing about it is I'm seeing so much compassion, so much love for humanness, even in our own things, because there's no such thing as pedestals, and there's nobody bigger than the other.
Right.
This is hard. It's a round table, and everyone is energy essentially, but until we start moving ourselves into that frequency of acceptance, we are still navigating the separation as it comes up. There's a lot of things that we all are navigating through, and compassion, because nobody's clear from programs. We're still definitely here, very much human in the physicality, changing into the new galactic human, the hybrid soul. So that's what we're going for. That's what we're stepping into and owning it as we are coming in. And oh my God, I have no idea.
Wow, you
Oh,
just spit some fire, man. Randy
well,
Mahat.
whenever I'm here, this definitely activates a lot. So this is my space that I'm like 24/7 most of the time. So it's just, learning how to navigate those energies that's been helping kind of anchor in as well with the inner guidance.
Randy Mahatma Brown, our brother from Jacksonville, Florida. I didn't know you lived in Jacksonville. I lived in Jacksonville. He needs a ride from Jacksonville, Florida. Anybody coming from southern Georgia, southern Alabama?
Well, hey, look, I can drive down from Virginia and meet, and we'll just go ahead and head that way. I was going to take a gray dog if not, but I'm still trying to get there. I'm trusting the universe on this wholeheartedly, so it don't matter if I got to put a stick on my back with a handkerchief. I'll walk.
Well, and maybe that's how you work some of this stuff out. I wish our sister Astrid Castillo de Leon was coming. She was there last year. She's incredible.
She's actually nearby me. She's a few hours away. I don't know if she's gonna be going.
No, I don't know. I don't know. I hope she is. Yeah, I think that's one thing to keep in mind, though. Come to Colorado and ride to Arkansas with me. Yeah, okay. That's a bit far, but thanks, Flip. Yeah. So, yeah, but I think that's the way to do it, like Luke's talking about. I mean, it's possible. Somebody jumps on a bus, and they take a bus to a town, and someone jumps in the car with somebody, and we've already got, like some people are coming in certain cars and leaving in different cars, even in the few people, I know coming out of Sedona. So though, we'll figure it out. All
right, guys. Well, I'm gonna hop off. Thank you for having me on. I look forward to seeing y'all there.
Right on, man.
I just want to make sure everybody else has room to get on. All right,
that's cool,
love
man.
y'all.
That's very good. Love you too, bro. Take care.
Yeah.
All right, y'all.
All right, man. Astrid says, I know it. I'll be there in spirit. Maria lives in Houston, Texas. We have a carpool coming from Houston, Texas, and my daughter is going to be in it. So one of my kids will be there. That's cool. People get to meet her. So what's happening, Robert? You look very serious today. You look like you're...
I got massive energies. So much has happened today and in the last few days for me. Like, so much shifting in my just field. I didn't realize stepping in this container how much of that would be kind of on blast. So I'm kind of sitting here like asking my higher self and my teams, I'm like, how do I ground? How do you know what I mean? Just kind of sitting, but aligning it, allowing it to come into, the frequency, just feeling very open-hearted but slightly raw at the same time. Yeah, just not like anything's kind of ripped apart. Just did a massive coding sequence with Ryan and Rhea. They really shifted quite a bit. But yeah, it's really opening up into this theme of like people coming together, and obviously we've been witnessing this in so many spaces, but I'm watching this across many groups, kind of like these... I mean, they've talked about it, brotherhoods, sisterhoods coming together, right? People who have been working together for long times across different lives, starting to have soul recognition and things like that starting to happen. And it's been fascinating for me because over the last 5, 6, 7 days, I'm really beginning to see who people are on like larger levels, like past life levels, like galactic sort of levels, like what our soul themes have been, at least like what mine has been, some key players as well, like what the connections have been. but it's been quite a lot to integrate, and just doing my best to just kind of sit with it, allow these energies to flow through. But it's incredible. It's incredible to see just the magic, the alchemical magic of these different groups, and people have different ways of doing things, but we're all weaving this beautiful pattern together.
Yeah, I think that's very obvious, that certain monads and tribes are coming together. Doesn't mean that they're physically in the same place necessarily, but definitely the a kind of an amplification of the knowing, and it doesn't really fully register with the human like so many of these things. But my experience has been, especially over the last few weeks, has been just get in there and do it. because everyone's feeling it. And, and the last few weeks has been real interesting, which is going to carry over into the Soulogy Fest, which is kind of how we started it last year. But we did take on and again, this isn't about the Soulogy Fest, it's about the transformation we're going through. And so last year we did take on some traditional aspects of festivals, but we also put in a freestyle kind of thing where the audience was involved. Now this one will be 100% audience involved, with the exception of one speaker, and that's Eric Rankin. He's going to come in and talk the sonic geometry, and it's an excellent presentation. He was our first speaker last year, and he'll be our first speaker this year. But what I'm saying is that over the last few weeks, anything that tries to be framed up, like I got to know how it's going to work, I got to do it this way, it doesn't work. It just brings really a constriction to the flow of the spontaneous and the intuitive and the telepathic, and that's what's happening in the collaborative. So I think this is kind of what you're speaking to, and I think that it's like I said, for me, it's just like jump in there and do it. Don't wait and think about, oh, am I really hearing this? Am I imagining things? I think I had an advantage over the last few weeks that most people didn't have, because I had so many divine episodes, truly divine episodes, to include a mountain lion coming onto the property, was carrying a message of the dark feminine, who I had brought equilibrium to within myself just 2-3 days beforehand. But it continued, how a lot of these things continue. And but yeah, it made it easy for me under some challenging circumstances to get a lot of shit done and watch some miracles just fly. The thing is, and I'm not saying this about myself, I'm saying this about all of us, and I just happen to be one party to people that experienced it. I feel like the community itself experienced it through my own experience, because it really allowed us to move into a higher plane of potential. And what I'm talking about is the universe at this point in time, in 2022, on this date, August 13th, happy International Goddess Day, by the way. All hail the Mother Goddess and all her own. But the universe at this point isn't going to hand you buckets of gold. It's not going to hand you energetic abundance. It's not going to do that unless you're on point. And that's integrity, and nobility, dignity, courage, love, strength, respect, wisdom, honor. And I'm living proof. And it also doesn't set you up for life. It's an ongoing thing. But what I mean by set you up, I win the lottery, now everything's good. No, it's not like that. It's requires the old corporate adage in a different way. We'll say in a 5D way of, what have you done lately? And what that translates to is, what have I done to grow my soul lately to bring my human into alignment with my soul that's now occupying my body fully and consciously. How do I bring the human in and kind of align the human's free will with universal will? That seems to be, in the Trinity energy, that seems to be what I'm seeing, what I'm feeling, what I'm experiencing. And then you get a couple days off and it starts all over again.
So the thing that I keep hearing is in 3: integrity, accountability, pay it forward.
Yeah, pay it forward's huge.
Yeah,
That's huge.
Essentially, how do you
That's
give?
huge.
You have to stand up and also be present and show up, and then also pay it forward in the frequency. That's how we're moving now. And it's going to be presented to everybody in their own way. How do they pay it forward? If it's monetary, energetically, and essentially, how we're paying through the energy. It definitely is. And I'm feeling that really deeply right now as you were talking about how do we do that. And I kept hearing integrity, accountability, paying it forward. That's how the universe keeps gifting us.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hey, Astrid said, I'm going to ask tomorrow if I can take some time off for Soulogy. Cool. Love to see you there, Astrid.
Yeah.
She was the second person I met when we opened the gates. This lady pulled up, and I still don't know her name. Everyone got to know her. She was a really cool lady. I think she lived in France for a while. And she pulls up in one of those RVs. I know you, and da 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 da. I'm like, whoa. The next one was Astrid. She pulls up in hers. Yeah. So hope we can see her there. Go ahead, Robert.
Yeah. Interesting. I was going to share something and then it shifted. Heart. It's something about the merging of hearts, right? Whenever it's like this experiencing the oneness of each other as like this unified state of state, right? So I am giving to you, but you are me. And so through giving to you, I am unifying you and me. I am unifying our interests. I am unifying our love. I am unifying our vitality. And this is something that I've always felt, is that we are one species, one collective consciousness. And I think this is part of moving into that sort of Christhood, sort of state, that crystal consciousness of where you're fully tapped in, right, with all of the rest of your species, like a lot of these extraterrestrials, where you can speak for the species, you can be one with the species in all times, right, not disconnected, is because you are essentially it's for the highest good of the whole entire species, because you just are the species. You just are it. And I feel like every single time we assist each other out of pure unconditional love and abundance, and we're just like, hey, you are me, here's something, right, for the highest good of everyone, essentially we're unifying, and essentially creating more of that connection. And the world will reciprocate, and we just continuously blossom more of these connections.
Well, everybody shows up and they share. And to your point, or to what you're saying, this is all a merge. Merge is merging. Merging is merging is merging. And so the question is, are we merging and congealing and coalescing? Or how much of us is not? That's, I think, the hard part you're talking about. But it's truly acceptance. If I'm trying to control, if I'm even fixated on external things or people or future or whatever, I'm and I think we're all getting this pretty quick. I am not in my power. I am not in my power, period. So yeah, it's a kind of a high level kind of thing from my perspective now. High level in the sense that you really got to stay on your toes. You really got to respect your solitude, your power, your strength, your wherewithal, your peace of mind at all cost. And it's not I don't think it's a great time that you make major decisions, although you might get guidance that says go do something crazy, like have a Soulogy Fest with very little notice on Mulberry Mountain, which is on a trajectory of something just fucking amazing in all ways. But still, you know, to me, it's a good time to like take a breath. If you don't know what to do, don't do anything. Don't make rash statements. Don't make, you know, I mean, you can, but we've got enough to swallow than having to eat extra humble pie servings that we just created in the last, you know, few days or weeks or, you know, whatever, hours, you know. Delia?
Yeah, right now too is one of the biggest things that's being highlighted has been essentially language, how we use language, the concepts of language. And when we are projecting the power of our thought and emotion, essentially as in creation, is thoughts. And how do thoughts become things? There's emotion powered by them that are held with belief systems. So the more that we have this unnecessary need, you know, sometimes it is, but just depending on so karmic levels and whatever they're, you know, whoever and whatever is being, you know, how they're participating and showing up in the frequency in their voice, that's also creating and moving through the facets from where we want to create from the heart and what we've been creating in the past of ego. So we're taking accountability as well in what we're saying, how we're communicating. So it's also honoring those things. Essentially, you also said the moments of isolation, the moments of anchoring, the moments of trying to embody something in that space of peace within ourselves. So we may present ourselves and be showing up in the openness with our hearts and in the raw, basically, in the raw.
Yeah.
Even if it's vulnerability, because it's definitely going to be pushing us to crack ourselves open.
It's so key.
And in the inner guidance. Yeah, exactly. And it's going to be okay because we're going to know that we're not going to be afraid. There's not going to be fear. It's going to be, I'm opening myself up so others know that it's okay to open up.
That's, oh, hang on, I'm having, okay, so, yeah, all right, so that's, you hit it, because anyone that thinks that, and you know, it's one thing to say something, that you know something, and it's another thing to actually have embodied it, I think, and that is the power of vulnerability, which is the path to transparency, which is what we're talking about, truly. I like the way you explain it because, you know, anyone that thinks vulnerability at this point is weak is out of their fucking mind. It's the greatest thing you can do, and I think that's what the power of conscious merging does. And conscious merging can be like Morgan's groups, it can be like the improvisational sessions that we have, Robert and I, and with our friends, or when we've had it with friends. Vulnerability is, and I like the way you explain it, because there's nothing to be embarrassed about, ashamed about, nothing. And that's what you're bringing through, is you're saying, we do this so it enables other people to then do the same thing, not because it makes it right, because it makes it easier on everybody. You know, it actually grows that consciousness of, hey, you know what, it's okay, you know, if you sing out of tune. It's okay if you have a faux pas. If you have anything goes, you know, it's okay. And that's the fucking gift. It's not about stepping through the fear. Stepping through the fear is the action, the understanding that it's okay no matter what I do. If I fall on my face or fail by humans' perspective or whatever, etc., etc., it's okay. I'm a soul. I'm eternal. I want to live a long life as Todd, but if I can't, then it's okay. I'll go on to the next one. Oh, you know, one other thing Robert said too, though, I'd like to get y'all's thoughts on this. I'm not 100% right now, so I'm about 80. But the thing about...
I'm practically tripping.
Yeah, you look like you're tripping. Look like you ate some mushrooms. We're gonna have a little fun with music in a minute. I'm gonna see if I can get Christy. I'm gonna see if I can get Christy Sullivan Perez up here. But no, this thing about the tribes and the monads, the missions that overlap through successive incarnations and lifetimes and collaborations is very much on point now. And for me, this is where it's brought me a lot of strength, has been because I recognize some that are obvious to people, some that are not, but because I recognize my tribe, it kind of like fortifies my you know, my deliberate, my intention of deliberately, steadily aligning with my mission as a soul, even though I totally respect my human, and my human is number one, the number one final piece of alignment. I'm able to push through the human old patterns and loops and bullshit, because that's what it is. It's bullshit. It's no longer okay for us to make excuses and externalize and point fingers, and it's okay. We're better off to say, I'm in fear, I'm scared, I don't know what the hell to do. That's what Delia's talking about. See, it's not obviously it's not going to work if we externalize it, and number two, it's not going to work if we beat ourselves up. And the only way we're going to beat ourselves up is if we are the judge, the jury, and the prosecutor. When we share it and say, I'm not okay, period. I don't need to add any words to that. I am not okay.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone that can say I'm 100%. I wouldn't trust it. I don't care who it is. But I think it's important that what Delia said isn't just about stepping through a fear and being a singer or a rapper or whatever. It's about saying, hey, you know what? I'm a human being, but I'm an eternal soul. And at this point in time, in 2022, on August 13th, International Goddess Day, I got a few of my frequencies are kicking ass, and they're in the 95th percentile, and a few of them are in the 45th percentile. And to talk about it, and admit it, because we're gonna hide anymore, it's just fruitless. That's why I said I'm not concerned. I just want to get the most out of each day. Don't keep it. Okay.
Well, and to give yourself and others permission, right, to have that not be okay energy come through, and to not try and fix it, and to not try and like force it into some sort of like space or something, right? Myself being here, feeling a bit like very vulnerable energetically in a sense, and like essentially being here, being like, oh,
what happened?
I don't know.
Just keep talking.
How to move through this, right? Sort of thing. And just being able to show up and be humble about it, be like, all right, well, here's where I'm at. Here's what I'm working with. You know what I mean? Here's what I got, whether it be something that feels like a super like high vibe, a super low vibe, a super something like that. And then being able to witness people in your life. I currently have a boss who I put in notice at work, and I noticed that he's kind of on my case, right? And he's kind of starting to become like a bit manipulative and like kind
petty
of like
tyrant. Everybody needs the petty tyrant, man.
Well, so that's been happening, and I realized that there was this opportunity to start presenting these ideas of like narcissist, he's manipulating, he's trying to get his power back type energies, and there might be some sort of truth to him trying to whatever play games, but then take a step back and say, wait a minute, he is a hard thing to do right now. He's got tons of people leaving, he's got tons of roles to fill. He's super stressed out, he's struggling actually with his job. I can see it. They're like really struggling at this restaurant all of a sudden. This is a regular thing for him. It's actually a pretty hellish thing, like every season. Okay. And I'm leaving, and I'm like a strong server. I mean, I've done that for years. Like I'm like a strong, and he thought I'd be around, and so just kind of like take a step back and be like, you know what? Whatever. Like I'm just gonna love this dude unconditionally, You know, it doesn't mean I'm gonna necessarily let him walk all over me, but at the same time, like, I don't need to be in this psychic warfare
Uh-uh.
between me and this guy of some sort of situation of like, oh, he's doing this, oh, he's trying this, or this is this. It's no more so just like, I'm just gonna do me. I'm just gonna move through my last few days here and be off, but love him unconditionally, love others unconditionally. So like this very much allowing all perspectives of space to land, of self to land, regardless of whether they're like some super high frequency reflection or some low frequency reflection. Like, how can you love it all unconditionally as it is, rather than expect it to be some type of way, or like fight with it, bicker with it in the head, like allow that
Yeah,
all to
because
drop.
at the end of the day, it's you arguing with yourself. You might involve other people, and that has been something that we have all done because that's all we knew.
I'm glad that words worked there. Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, I got you. But no, seriously, because here's somebody else. Somebody else is coming in. Who's this?
All right. Yeah.
Let's see. Hang on. Let's see. Hang on. We'll get back to it. What's up? Who's this? Oracle.
Hey guys. Hi. No, I was hearing everything that you were saying, and I agree. How are the birds treating you, by the way?
The birds? The birds have been fucking amazing for me. What's your name? Do you go by Oracle or what's your name?
Yeah, I go by Oracle. Yes.
Okay, I'm Todd. That's Delia, and that's Robert. Nice to meet you. Yeah, it was crazy because at the end of my stay in Sedona, I was staying in a town called Camp Verde at a friend's place, and there were these two red-tailed hawks, which is my animal, and the owl's probably my animal. I would say is my animal too. 4 animals that I have, and so there was 2 red-tailed hawks. One was named Magic, and one was named Merlin, and they kept showing themselves to me. And then all these owls kept coming into the yard at night, and there was a lot of Merlin energy. They were talking a lot, and then it was funny because right when I left, because we were having trouble leaving. But right when we got in the car to go, this red-tailed hawk Merlin flew right in front of me, and I was like, "Okay, we're good." Yeah. So the birds have been amazing. Why do you ask?
That's a wind acceptance elemental type of thing. So I was just wondering how the wind was pushing and its acceptance of what's going on, which is actually very good because that means it'll carry the word going forward.
Yeah.
That's what I was asking.
Well, it's funny that you say that because there were a lot of animals involved. There was a mountain lion, there were some horses, there was a dog, there was a Pleiadian. there was even when I got to Arkansas the first night, I went down to this like ditch that I'd stopped there before and spent a couple nights there after I moved out of our house, and I saw this huge white I guess you call them swamp rats or nutria rats, and the last time I'd seen one was in the Lionsgate corridor in 2016 when I met Merlin. So yeah, the elementals in the animal kingdom, and even the trees and the plants, the wind, the mountains, and then the inner earth beings have been very, very active in a way that's been just throughout the day for the last few weeks.
Yeah. The dreams I've been getting lately have been like full downloads. There's a lot going on. Every dream I've had for the last 3 or 4 days has been total. They've all been very lucid. Like I feel myself walk on the ground. I feel myself grab stuff and not only see things, but just be a part of the experience. And there's been a lot going on. It's like every time I wake up, I talked to my friend Donna. I was like, every time I wake up, I feel like there's just more information coming. And she was like, "Well, just keep on because there's more information coming." So, yeah, there's a lot going on. There's attack of the religions. All the religions are going to be attacked, and it's going to be up to us to continuously keep ourselves going and keep ourselves positive and moving forward. And I've seen this for a very long time, and it's actually happening. And it's some parts exciting, some parts are terrifying, going back and forth. But I definitely see it, and I feel it, and it's actually going on right now, especially with this gate opening right now. So,
When you say you have these thoughts, or I can't remember how you just put this, but basically it sounds like I guess maybe a sensitivity to what we might call, for the sake of this discussion, because as far as I'm concerned, every piece of dark and every piece of light is me 100%. And anyone can chime in on that. That's not an absolute. That's just my truth. But it sounds like what you're describing is more clarity, higher sensitivity to the divergent polarities in terms of energies or dualities, even. And I think that I can see. We'll see what Robert and Delia say, but I can say that very much so. If I just look at the last 10 days, we were supposed to leave Sedona a week ago Thursday. And all of these things happened. And twice our RV broke down. Twice we had to come back. There was lots of divine episodes and such I won't get into. But when we left, we both got downloaded. We both received the same download that day, and when we talked the next morning, I'm talking about our friend Amethyst, and what it had to say was that, or at least part of it was, and again, as the individual goes, so goes the collective. We could see the people around me, 4 or 5 of us, could see in the energies, including the weather, when we were trying to leave, we were not to leave. It looked very crazy. It looked dark. It looked, people were having premonitions of don't leave, something's going to happen. And we compared notes after some time. But when we left, and like I was saying earlier in the show, it was literally like the Red Sea parted. We were in a corridor. We were told we were in a corridor, and that we were protected. And then it was also explained to each of us individually, and we talked about it later, which was that there were bands of protection. I actually saw this in the sky when I was on the road, and that there were, let's just say, antagonist energies trying to get to us, trying to alter us, and I think that's probably what you're feeling. At least that's what it describes to me. What do you think about that, Robert?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because it is all you, but in a lot of ways, we have these things that we haven't resolved, right? We have these parts of ourselves that we haven't fully mastered or taken ownership of. And so as we raise up in frequency and, we essentially elevate and, time starts moving faster, these things, they come up in more rapid succession. And they're coming up on a global level, they're coming up on an internal level, and, the outwards, it is me. This world is me, and I am me. So it's like this kind of, it's just showing up because I haven't fully resolved this thing.
Exactly.
And so over time, I clear these things up, and there's the choice to go within and to take responsibility for it immediately and clear these things up far faster, or the choice to, kind of project and say wrong, bad, whatever sort of things, the games that humanity really loves to play, or has loved to play, I shouldn't say, hasn't even loved to play, has been playing unconsciously, right? Of like seeing the external as the enemy, another person as the opposition, when in reality, you're just kind of lovers in a dance.
Yeah.
And there's just kind of some sort of alchemical magic coming. So it's almost like you could see it as like, Peeves in Harry Potter, the poltergeist who would like drop like pots on people's heads and like do like crazy shit. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in a way, you know, they're getting loud, these kind of poltergeist sort of things for people who haven't resolved them. But like, there's always that opportunity to take responsibility for it and love it unconditionally, and release your programs, because just saying that it's just love is, you know, it can get a little too airy fairy, but like drop the programming behind it too,
Yeah.
which gets into cellular and everything like that.
Yeah. Delia?
Yeah. No, what was funny was in the dream, there's a portion of the dream that we were all getting attacked, and
I didn't know this was a dream. I missed that part. Okay, so this was. When did this happen?
No.
How long ago did this happen?
3-4 days ago.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I remember I messaged Morgan whenever it the day after it happened. So, but no, it I was walking and I passed this woman that was in all like black, and kind of like an armor or whatever, and she said, "Don't touch this. Keep going. Keep moving forward." But when I came to the front, I had a staff, or not really a staff, more like a cane, because I can still. I was telling Morgan I can still feel it, like on the palm of my hand. I can still feel like where the cane rested, and we were being attacked, but people couldn't see it because they weren't, I guess, in tuned or the on the same level or whatever. And I said, and I was calling on a goddess of Hecate to make it right, to help us, to move, to protect us, the goddess of magic, and to protect us of what's going on. And then people started to see things, and then the next thing I knew, I was at a table sitting with, you know, like 5 or 6 other people, and at the table there were numbers like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, like, you know, like one, and not everyone was sitting there, of course, because not everyone was there. And it was it was religions, it was mystic religions that have been here since the beginning of time, that have now faded over time. And they were like, well, what makes you think that you have the right to call upon this? I was being questioned. What makes you, like, what? Why did you call upon this? What makes you think? And it got to the point where I was like, you know, nothing anywhere says that there's only a male figure protecting us. And a couple of the figures was like, that's right, or one of them said, actually, I like him. It was really weird. She was like, I actually like this guy. And it was just very strange. But what I saw was that people are being attacked, but we're not protecting each other. And we have,
or maybe we're attacking each other. Maybe we're attacking each other. I mean, you know.
Well, because there was a lot of us at a few of us at the table, but we weren't all on the same. We weren't all on the same page. And something I've done, I've done a lot of study on religion, a core, and things have branched off from that core. And it's very funny that people like, well, we only believe in this. Paganism, Catholicism, whether you're Baptist or whatever, believes in something. But what they used to do in the olden days, like, let's see, Alexander the Great days, they used to initiate people deeper and deeper. It was almost like an onion into a religion. Like, this is what you believe here, but it
was brainwashing. That's what it was.
Yeah. Yeah, well, because the people didn't accept everything. They wanted to accept the most simple thing. And then the ones that they thought that were able to get more, they would initiate them into something deeper, and then initiate into something deeper.
Yeah, this is, I mean,
and to keep going.
Yeah, this is the implementation of the control from at least 6,000 years ago. I mean, we can go further back, but I mean, this is obvious. I mean, look at all the religions. None of them have a feminine leader. Even the Dalai Lamas, you know, even the Tibetan Buddhists, they're you know, if you get real specific about it, they're just as warlike as any other ones, and they don't have the feminine on the same level. So I don't trust any of them, not even Buddhism. And I'm not taking anything away from anybody. It's interesting what you're talking about, because it would make sense that if people are finding oneness, that there's going to be some issues with any thought, you know, school of thought that is inclusive. And that's why, you know, and I know there's many words for what Soulogy could mean or whatever, but I was told from day one that everybody's included, even if they don't like it. Which sounds to me like the Holy Spirit or oneness or unity consciousness or whatever. But yeah, that's interesting, that dream. It's very interesting. Delia? Oh.
That's a deep dive.
It is a deep dive.
But that even with that, the construct, that's what it essentially is. And, you know, eye of the beholder. The perception that you're receiving anything is just the way that you're moving. I mean, somebody can listen to that and can see the bigger overall structures around that and not get stuck in the story of that. That's one of the biggest things that is really what's really going on, or do you feel like you're being attacked? And it's always taking it to the self. But regardless of that, we're going to navigate that with the compassion even to ourselves. And like Todd said, if you think about the unification and everything else, it is you speaking to you. It is you giving you guidance. It is you attacking yourself. You cannot divorce yourself from anybody, and that also includes the isms, the many isms that are out there. Essentially, they're just constructs, and we take that away into the true spirit. That's really what essentially we are. But regardless of that, it's just really nice to move with the frequency of what's been coming, because I know that many people feel that, and everybody is experiencing in their own way, all the way down to the multidimensionality. And moving through spaces, as well as taking accountability in the many spaces they've also played as the opposite role. And moving through that, this is overall, we're anchoring it here in the human, and this is what's going to matter. Showing up in the heart and the soul, and not letting one thing throw us into fear, or feeling the need of, you know, I don't believe in protection. I believe in transmutation, frequency, and everything back into the oneness and the frequency of vibration of coherence.
Right on. You know, I have a gut feeling that if everybody just sits tight for these next few weeks, which I would say is August and September, everybody just sits tight. Don't push the panic button. You know, receive what's presented to you by whatever way that occurs, be it you meet somebody or somebody delivers a message or something happens to your circumstances, consequences, whatever it is. I have a feeling that a lot of this stuff is being worked out, and I think a dream like Oracle had, or the dreams I had last night, because I had about 12, I think a lot of this stuff is being worked out because we've actually already done it, and the physical is, the human part of us is kind of anchoring that into reality, this thing, and it's mind-blowing. But yeah, I feel like if we just don't push, we don't get overly concerned, we stay in care and compassion versus concern and control, and allow things and get away from judging, and I mean, these are things that are happening naturally and through a natural evolution, I believe, and I think we're going to see some serious, you know, kind of a, you would almost say like a universal correction over these next few weeks that's happening to us. And I've been saying for quite some time, maybe what we're seeing is not prophecy or premonition, but it's actually alignment. Alignment's occurring, and we're getting different glimpses of it, you know?
Yeah, well, it's like, don't over-identify with all the codes coming through, right? I mean, there are things coming through that'll be powerful and expansive, but we're always going to keep, essentially aligning with the higher codes, like whatever is the most up-to-date, current, clearest, purest information. Like, we've been doing that over the last few years. I mean, it's always been evolving, upgrading. And so it would be very easy to receive some sort of code and then start to assume that reality is going to be like this. But if it doesn't feel like like an expansive thing you want to enter into, if it doesn't feel like joy, if it doesn't feel like love, and, you opening up into more of yourself, I would actually say that is a beautiful window for you to look within and say, well, why is this limiting code coming through? Why is this thing that is telling you less coming through?
But we all know
out?
that the codes are going to be limited. Like, not everyone is going to understand all the codes that are actually coming through. Some of us are going to understand more, and some of us are not going to understand as much. But as seers, believers, guides, all we can do is help people move forward, and not everyone's going to get all the codes, unfortunately, and they're going to, like you just said, they're going to be very limited. So they are going to be limited. You're right. Not everyone is on the same level. We're not all on the same level. We're not on the same wavelength. But not everyone. People are going to be asking, how can I move forward? How can I understand what you're understanding, or see what you're seeing? And unfortunately, we're just not saying, hey, it just takes time, but we can guide them through, and we can say, okay, let's do this, let's try this. And literally, my name is what I go by is Oracle. People call me that for a reason, is because I help guide people all the time. And it's just like, let's calm down, let's look at this, let's find this. What do you see? Is there anything past that? And some people, honestly, there's nothing past it because they can't see past what's going on. But what they see are very vital and opportunist, like very important things going on. But some people can actually see further. Some people can go even further than that, better than we can, and we get, we're just like, oh, okay. But they're going to ask for guidance, and all we can do is, what we need to know is that we need to be here to help guide people and help move them forward, and help, like, okay, what you're seeing, what's behind the tree, what is further beyond the hill, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a figure of speech, but like, what's going on? And that's what we can do to help people move forward, because a lot of people I'm seeing are going to need help and guidance because they just don't understand. And some people are getting downloads and like, okay, I saw this, I'm getting this, what the hell is going on? Okay, well, let's process it one by one. Let's go here, let's go there, let's go the next step. And that's going to help people actually move forward.
Well, I think that's,
they just don't understand what they're downloading.
Yeah, I don't understand what I'm downloading. And I do agree that we're going to have, very likely we're going to have a time where we're going to be helping people, because there's going to be it's possible. There's also been several credible people over the last 3 or 4 months that have received the vision or dream or whatever, that we're going to all arrive at the same place at the same time. In other words, there was this whole theory of the two Earths and a great divide, but that when the group that, say, the first and second and third wave, or whatever that number is, reaches a certain frequency, that automatically the other side all comes at the same time. I had not seen that intel until about 3 or 4 months ago, and some pretty credible people have pretty much said the same thing. So I think what you're saying is accurate, but I do think that we have all fooled ourselves. Who better to fool yourself than yourself? that still plays in our human condition. And more than ever, the number one thing is Takano power. Take care of number one in the Trinity energy, which is if I take care of myself, because we all have a little bit of wounded healer in us, which is really a distraction to handling our own shit. But the bottom line is, we cannot forget about ourselves. If we're uncomfortable, if anything's being presented to us, that's our number one job, and that's the best thing we can do for everybody, even as a practitioner for your clients. I mean, this is an even playing field now, and what Oracle may be able to access, let's just say on a scale of 1 to 10, there's 5 things he can access I can't even come close to, but there's 5 things I can access he can't come close to. This is why the merging is so important, when we actually respect and honor the connectivity of the universal in this very unique realm where the human beings or the mirrors are such a prominent role. It's so important to respect the connectivity as quantum observer creators. We accept, I think, overall in these communities, that what we perceive and project as a result of that perception, as it runs through us, is what is experienced and created. What I don't think that we get is we can influence other people. If we think this person is a piece of shit, or this person is a whatever, or this or that, don't think for 1 second that you're not potentially altering that person. And that's on you. Okay? That's not on them. I mean, ultimately it is. And this is a higher level arrangement and contractual scenarios that we have. But at a human level, where this is really gonna be determined in terms of the boom, the expansion, the realization of the potential, is going to happen at the human level. And this is where we got to walk the talk now. I mean, that's kind of my feeling on it. But yeah, I totally dig this conversation.
I totally agree with what you're saying. There is something that you can be X, Y, and Z, essentially, titles. All I can be, and at the present moment, doesn't matter if I'm a practitioner or anything else, I am claiming and stepping into my multidimensional human. Yeah. I'm not here to help others to heal. I'm here to hold space and process and still not project onto those things. So we're moving through facets, and I do love what you said, is taking ownership of ourselves and knowing to how to empower others to take ownership of themselves and self-source and tap into that inner gnosis, and we're moving through those facets, and everything at this moment, the energy is essentially just ramping up. And I know I'm glitching hard because the energy is so intense, but I do believe that there's definitely days when we are writing and definitely moving through the density of the frequency, and then there's days when even having a conversation, even with a boss, is just pure clarity. You can see the amazing frequency and connection that can move us through, and it essentially always shows up as where you're at, where's your energy level at, and when are you meeting yourself. So it is energetically everything that's been ramping up, as well as where you keep yourself at. What are you standing in the frequency and your connectivity to source? Not, to me, it's not exterior of this energy, that energy, or this energy. I'm connecting to source self. Everything that is, the divine source. In creation, there is chaos, and there's also everything in array. Creation is all of that. It holds it.
Right.
But it's ton of energy.
Oracle, where do you live?
I am currently in Iowa. This is my 8th state.
Wow. You look familiar too. Talking about monads and soul tribes, you look familiar for some reason. I don't know what it is.
I've seen a lot of your lives. There you go. I've seen a lot of your lives. I just never actually participated.
Cool.
I'm with Donna with a friend of yours that you've had on multiple times is actually friends with her. So
Donna who?
Yeah.
Donna
Owens.
Oh, Donna. Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Donna's the shit dizzle. The shift dizzle.
She had a beautiful video the other day of the sun rising, and I only saw it for like 30 seconds, and I just like received all these downloads, and I had to turn it off because I was at work, and I was like, I can't focus at work with all these downloads going on at one time. So she is awesome. She's definitely extremely in tuned right now.
Yeah. She's a goddess. She's a goddess, no doubt.
Yeah, she really is. Mm-hmm.
So Robert, you all right? You look like you took some shrooms or something.
No, I'm good. I'm literally just sitting here present with the energies, watching this unfold. Yeah, it's an interesting conversation. And
oh shoot.
oh, god dang.
Yeah,
what?
You want me to spit a freestyle about it?
Let me see. Let's see. Yeah, well, let's just play around a little bit. Hang on. Let me get the levels right.
With the clarity and the sound.
How's that?
Yeah, it's good. If it's good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll take turns.
Right.
Oracle's next.
Whatever you got, even if it's just words.
Yeah.
Speak the truth. Let's dance, jazz real smooth. You want to move with the gratitude, want to be the person who is living truth. Own your move, though. Rather than having someone else own you or some part of you that feels like it doesn't quite flow. In pain, seeming like it is a stain, seeming like it is a frame. No, sit and meditate. Yeah, see yourself go into a place where you're going into what you want to create. Remember that you are the creator of this reality. It's so easy to forget. Stop benefiting from creating consciously. But then we start to get onto this, and then we benefit from listening to the God and Goddess in me and what I want to drop into this reality. And maybe there are pieces in between for me to clear. But if it feels like fear, and if it doesn't feel clear, well, isn't that the thing to clear? Right? Isn't that the place for me to get sincere? Rather than being a sincere, like looking at everyone else like they are wrong. No, I am choosing not to be abusing with my song, more to be lifting up into something that feels strong. That's that love, and that's that heart. I choose it inside of my art.
Oracle, you want to have a go or you want to pass?
Oh no, pass.
Delia?
Perspective in the heart, everything is coming, and through the lens of what is the eye of the beholder is the one that sees. And as we move through the filters from the programming we've had, we've stepped in through, that we only show compassion for all. In each and every moment when we come and we hold space in that sacred container, that we see each other without judgment, where we reflect another truth for them to see within the heart so they can expand within themselves. It is not judgment, it is in the heart that we can see this. And in the heart and the energy that it is being felt. To both know, move through the spaces from the mentalism, from the vocabulary down to our hearts, the merging of the frequency, chakra energy, centers in the frequency of pillars coming in formation so we may expand. And in the heart we see flow and within us. Together in unified field, and we feel the fire within us as we move forward, connecting, growing. So it is in the frequency of our inner noses, and in crystalline frequency from our hearts, from our ears, to the connection to the source, from the highest of the earth stars, and then the solar frequency of the mass, all the way to the monadic level, connecting, seeing, knowing, and feeling, the sensing of the soft pod connections. We can keep the energetic frequency as we isolate one another. We're connecting in the frequency and we're flowing in the energy, connecting everybody, sharing in the code. My code is your code, and it becomes everyone as one unified community. We may carry the Donna Owens and all our families and friends that we've known, past, present, and future, in many different dimensions. We connect in everyone in coherence, the connected grid systems from above to now, in the energetic frequencies from the from the dragon, the galactic circle, the inner earth, the all feel through the flow.
Nice. It's nice to see people doing stuff like this. Yeah.
What you got, Todd?
I don't know. I'm gonna come up with something. Let me see how much time's left on this thing. Yeah,
You can even start it over.
Yeah, I started over. Triple M Johnny, 72 subscribers. I'll just freestyle. I'll wait for the drop.
Yeah.
This damn thing gonna start?
Let it through. Spit your truth.
Is there not a drop in this thing? How long is this thing going on?
Yeah.
It's called Moving On with Life. Okay, here it goes. I don't know. I just find the flow. Time's not moving so slow now. It's speeding up. That's what's up. The present moment. Open heart. Pure intention. Aligning my will with universal will. Playing with my friends. Co-creating. Cohabitating, collaborating. It's a little bit insane for the human aspect, but now the soul is in the driver's seat. It wants to take the load, take it off of our human being, our divine, beloved human being. It's the greatest prize in this whole trip, is having the experience. And the more we remember that, the easier it will be to forget those things that tied us down. They kept those loops that kept coming around. You know, we find our strength, we get our rest, we ground. But overall, we take responsibility for ourselves. Nobody can do it for us. There ain't nobody to blame. All the doors are closed and we're the last one there. And I think if we just keep coming together, you know, and keep our hearts open and give heed to the brutal honesty of the soul, because it's coming for all of us. Nobody gets out alive.
True.
That was fun. Yeah, upload some lyrics. Christy Sullivan Perez used to do this. She'd upload the lyrics, and I'd... Back in the day, that was 3-4 years ago.
I loved it, Todd. It's beautiful. And I just want to say, don't reject magic.
No.
There are so many ways to play the game. I feel like it's so easy for people to think that spiritual vibes should be some type of way and start playing that game and saying no when they hear another type of flow and start seeing other people and say, no, 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 don't go there. But there are many different facets to this wave. So can we all just play the game in the ways that feel the most aligned, the ways that shine? If someone likes to play in this magical type of vibe, you'll let them play. And if other people want to land in other different lanes, let them play over. I think the problem is people start tripping and saying it has to be like this. And ain't that the ego? Ain't that something that's saying that it has to be? No, let it be. Let it all be just unraveling. So I might like to be doing something, and maybe I am actually just building into so many more facets of me that are in these higher types of energies. And sometimes I am feeling lower, sometimes I'm a flower, sometimes I'm a builder, and sometimes I'm a grower, sometimes I'm a planter, and sometimes I'm a doser. Taking all these doses of little bits of gnosis, they will open up doors and show you more inside of you, inside of your core. But if you will not listen, how will you know? And if you will not listen to the reflections, how will they grow and show you the truth? You got to do it.
That was fun. Yeah, man. I'm gonna just let you know. Man, it's nice meeting you, Oracle. Over in, you said Idaho? Is that
Iowa?
Iowa. Oh, okay, I got you. Suzanne McPherson's in the house.
Yeah, 8 states to live in. I've been all over the country. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. Okay, so yeah, look, we're gonna you know what's difficult. It's not difficult, but what's different is not having a set calendar, and it doesn't mean that and I'm just using myself as an example, kind of like killers with one stone. These Soul Speaks 5Ds are the backbone of this energy we call Soulogy, and I'm going to do my best to do 2 a day, 7 days a week, as well as other broadcasts. But my understanding right now, at least for what I'm involved with, and my role is to be on and broadcast as much as possible and bring people together so that they can have a place to speak or listen or observe or experience. And so we're going to keep doing that. So I really want to just I'm happy to meet you, Oracle. We will be on the top of this mountain 16 miles up the hill there in 2 weeks, so you're welcome to come, and everybody else is too. You know, if you get the urge, whether it's go to Soulogy Fest or watch it or anything else, anything that you get the urge to do that makes sense, oh, I don't want to spend the money, or I don't want to take the time to go, or whatever. Yeah, I think it's real important right now to pay attention to what we're getting, and remember that every single download we get is first and foremost meant for the person that receives it, regardless of what kind of collective information it has. It's always meant for us. And I'm real excited about where we're headed, and to continue to promote and support experiences like this, whether I'm on the camera or not. So that's why you see a lot of different things happen at Soulogy. It's not about anything more than creating different versions of an expansion of vibrations or expansion of frequencies, remixing what's occurred or what's been created in the past, remixing it in different ways, like you were talking about, Robert, having code over poetry or poetry over code. I mean, you know, just playing with different things, because one thing I've learned in the last few weeks is the power of intention and collaboration put out to people in an improvisational, spontaneous, intuitive, creative, and imaginative way. It heals itself. It doesn't have words. It speaks to the subconscious, and it's all based on the heart generating it. So that's why I'm just going to do this, because I feel like it. And that is just to say, you know, my own little, I don't normally, you know, take on that type of thing, you know, and say, hey, this is, you know, but my own little piece of advice for people is we're quantum observer creators, and if we think for one fucking second, and I'm not going to apologize for my French, but that we don't affect other people by our thoughts that are not in alignment, then we're fooling ourselves. And if there is something that can prove to us what will really the walk and the talk part of it, you know, I can't even talk now, It is that we take that responsibility on and honor each other by sending good thoughts or no thoughts. You know, it's important because people are going through a lot. There ain't nobody out here, nobody on this earth whose pain is greater than another's. Everything is proportionate to our individual life experience. And, you know, it's time to walk the talk. Hey, let's do this again tomorrow. We'll get Amethyst in here. We'll make some music. We got some equipment to set up and things to do. And I just jumped on tonight because I felt like it was something that might serve people and serve myself. You know. Love you guys.
Following the energy.
Right.
Love you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Y'all have a good night's sleep and hope to see you again, Oracle.
Thanks, you will. Trust me.
Robert and Day, I see you in 2 weeks.
We'll see ya.
Yeah.
All right. Peace out.
All right. Bye.